Welcome back. Another cracker. Tony Brown, the TD, Tournament Director. Versus Steve Wool. Here we go.
I'll never let you forget that. Still got it on the phone.
So, Tony Brown to break. Nothing down. What a split that is as well. Just bear with us a few minutes. I think somebody's unplugged. Oh no, they haven't. Somebody was stood in front of it. Just turned my head away, looked back, and I thought somebody's unplugged the camera power and it got gone off. Didn't see Tony stood in front of it, so we're okay. Somebody unplugged it last time I was here. It went off to charge the phone up. Undercut that one, Steve. Just have to give Tony the nudge, move away from the main camera. Those of you that are tuned in, if you don't mind, just press that little share button, bottom left hand corner, be much appreciated. Yes, well, Scott's playing as well, but he's on one of the back tables. Do apologise, 1 second. Didn't see Steve then off. I'll give him the nod in a minute. Stood right in front of the camera. He obviously doesn't realise he's being filmed. Even though he has been over and said hello. A little bit of work to do, but Shouldn't find it too difficult. It is thinning down a little bit in the club now. One or two people probably nipped out for something to eat. Scott Wall did say, Scott Wall did say before he went to play his match that if he does win, the chances are he could well have half and dad in the next round, so that's something to look forward to, I suppose. So, used to run this in. He's done the wrong side of it. Oh, he's okay. He's okay. Goes in the middle. So it's Steve Wall takes the first frame. Well, Andrew Whittle Darrock, I really don't know what you've done there. Unless you've got it set your spacebar as a shortcut and it's set to shortcut pause video, I don't know. Really don't know. And if you're typing and you want to put a space in, just keep putting them dots in, I think. I really don't know. You must have got it set as one of the shortcuts to pause video. Probably better off googling it, and I'm sure Google will tell you how to alter your shortcuts. Maybe that's if you set it up for gaming or something like that, maybe that's probably one of the reasons why. Don't know. I don't do gaming on my computer, apart from Bill. Oh, he's tried to nudge the red up, the pocket up, but just didn't quite catch it. Yeah, well, if you look to, I don't know, it must be maybe set a shortcut to pause video, see what it tells you to do, and maybe use a key, something obscure, I don't know, like the caps lock key or something like that to pause it. It'll just default away from the pause button then. Maybe that might help. But yeah, Google it, it'll tell you how to set shortcuts, but I'm not too sure. I don't know if you have to be in game mode. I don't know. Really don't know. You have to be in game mode. But I suspect that's what you've done. You've set it as a shortcut somehow. Well, mine doesn't seem to do it when I'm on it, so I don't know. And you do get a better, clearer picture on a phone as well, because obviously there's more pixels on a mobile phone screen than there is on a computer screen. Slightly better picture with a TV screen, depending on what kind of TV it is as well. It's a bit like Morse code, this. Those of you tuned in, you can probably hear in the background Jason Hill's voice. He stood at the bar as well, he stood a good 20-30 foot away. So Steve Wall on the yellows. Not a lot he could do there but hit an ope, and he's part the red. So chance here for Tony Brown to level the scores up. So a few scores have been updated, the ones that are live at the moment. We've got Gaz Hughes 4-4 against Pat Hunt. Glenn Wilkinson's trailing 6-2 against Adam Chorley. Colin Mooney is trailing 4-2 against Dave Ibbs. Rob Dagnall 2-1 up against Sam Robertson. Brett Wildman 1-0 up against Ryan Wissett. Steve Whittaker 2-0 up against John Dunn. Al Fairhurst and Scott Wall 0-0. Arthur Dad, Gordon Worthington 0-0, and obviously this one we've got on stream is 1-1. Off. just his plant here, and I think everything else should be pretty much routine for Steve. I think by the sounds of it, Jason Hull has just beaten Stefan Racide here, and he has 7 frames to 6. So it's Stefan that goes through to the losers section. They're talking about it behind me. You probably hear him talking about the game long after the event.
Liberty taker.
Winding Jason up as well. So I don't know if you got that. Jason's giving everybody a running commentary of what happened. I think he was saying that Stefan was 6-5 up, and he's gone for a shot, Stefan. And I think he said he potted it. I don't know, can't remember. But the white's gone round the table, knocked one of Jason's balls, and without thinking, Jason's gone foul. Stefan's give it him, and he hadn't actually fouled, and Jason's ended up winning the frame. All sorts of shenanigans. So, but because obviously they finished it off, done whatever, and played shots after, there's not a lot you can do about it after. So somebody wasn't paying attention. Probably both of them, to be fair, by the sounds of it. Because you would think the player at the table playing the shot would know if he's fouled or not. So I think Stefan's conceded it was on fault for not watching properly, but there you go. All sorts of shenanigans.
Simon Patterson and Paul Martin, table 4.
Well, 2 shots there as Tony, and he's left this black in such a way that it will skill shot. I've seen these go. And can't tell from that angle, but so early in the game, it's worth a bash, is this? He could play the double, top left. Black's so close to the corner though. He could end up with a double kiss here. But I have seen these go still shotted. I don't know what he was trying there. He certainly wasn't trying to double it. I think he was trying to cock tat it or something.
Freeman says on table 5.
This is going 2-1 in favour of Tony Brown by the looks of it. It's all about this last ball over the bottom right hand corner and getting on that black. That's about right. It's probably the best place you could have wanted the white really. Just half ball length. No danger of going into the jaws. Has he hit it up? Yeah, he's hit it okay. Tony Brown. Good afternoon, everybody. Mr. Pinder's left me in in charge for a little while he goes and gets some tea. Stu Williams here, if you didn't recognise the Wigan accent. So we've got Tony Brown from St Helens and Steve Wall from Warrington. I think Steve's from Warrington anyway. If I'm wrong, someone will let me know, I'm sure. It's an interesting game actually. This is both very capable players. Tony's obviously running the comp as well, so not sure what his mindset is at the minute, but it was a nice shot. I'm going to try and find someone to jump on the commentary with me actually. Sure you don't want to listen to me drone on.
If anyone wants to bet, the odds have been updated. I'm just in the corner. I've finished my match now, so if you want to dabble, just come and see me.
We got Jason Hill shouting out, trying to get some more money off people, backers. I think he's got Mark White as the tournament favourite. I don't know much about Mark. Half and Dad at second favourite. And Matt Lawrence in third. Jason's going to join me in the box actually. We can have a chat about a few of the players, I'm sure. Good afternoon, Jason.
Good afternoon, Stuart.
Just talking about
The
you and
Wigan
your odds
Warrior.
actually.
Make me odds. You got
The
what?
bookie.
Mine in particular, or other people's?
I mean, I was just telling everybody you was shouting out your updated odds. That's all.
Yeah, well, I've managed to be able to do them. I've just finished my game, so obviously Mark White's still the favourite, the bookie's favourite.
I was just saying I don't know much about Mark actually, which. I mean, I don't think does he play much tournament pool? I've not really seen him about.
Well, he lost in the World Seniors final with IPA last year, 2018. Right. I think he got to the final of an amateur last year as well. I know he does hold a money match victory over Jordan Shepherd, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. He did also lose to him.
Right.
And he played some other top sticks.
Very good.
He was going to play Nigel Bond for money at snooker.
Really?
Yeah,
so
Nigel
obviously
pulled out.
he comes from a snooker background then. He's a snooker background then.
He is, but he's a huge 147 man. He's done that plenty of times.
Right.
But for me, he's the favourite.
Yeah, I spoke to Alfan actually earlier. Sorry, just give us a sec. Jason's taking a bet here. We'll come back to Jason in a moment. He's just taking a bet then. Yeah, Pilkey out. Tony looks. I'm quite surprised actually, but he looks in the zone here. He should be winning this frame from here. 3-1. I know the first to seven's the short races. So it's pretty important you get off to a good start in a short race, first to seven. So. So I've just been joined by Steve Crosby and while Jason's sorting out a bet.
Yes, hello.
The lizard from St Helens.
I don't swear. I've been told off.
It's just a rule of Mr Pinders.
Yes, very correct.
So it looks like 3-1 for Tony if he just knocks his pack in. Oh wow,
Ooh.
I am surprised he's missed that. He took the finish well actually, and then
He's probably gone for the
he's missed
middle,
the black.
but he was considering enough. Here comes Jason. Signing out Stephen Crosby.
Sorry, bit of an interruption there. Steve was forced into that shot there. I think he had to do something to get those two balls out of the way of the black. Pilker, yeah, he's a good-looking guy. Tony will be disappointed with that. He should have been knocking that black in. Steve's had to leave the commentary, but it's because he shouted out and Tony heard him. Tony's not happy with him, sorry. We're only right at the side of the table, so we have to be pretty quiet, but Steve was a bit too loud and put Tony off his head. But Jason's on his way back over now anyway. Steve's run out of position a little bit there. I can see the table from where I am, not just on the screen, and he's very, very close to this. He's going to have to play a really, really good shot here. It looks like to you on the screen that maybe the yellow he's closest to passes to the corner, but I can tell you from where I am, it doesn't look like it passes at all. I think he's going to have to come. Oh yeah, the shot he's lining up there off the side cushion and try and knock one of these in off the side rail, which is really, really tough. Yeah, he was never going to pot that though. It was really tough. Finished really poor on that yellow. So it's 3-1. Tony's got out of jail a bit there, missing that black. So we're joined now by Mr. David Stock, the wing from Wigan.
Hello.
What a voice. We've got Chris Moody at the side of us as well, actually, Mither in the life. But he can't hear what I'm saying because he can't see me. Looking at these reds, actually, what Tony's got. Oh, sorry, yellows. You'd be thinking he's got to get these because the reds look pretty good. If he doesn't get them, if he doesn't get these yellows, those reds are on. Surprised this played to cover the pocket there. You can't make out the two reds at the top of the table. There's quite a big gap between them. The lower one of those, I think you can actually pot now to the middle, or to play it onto the other red. That's off the cushion as well. That's a great shot, that is. I just don't think Dave's going to talk, sorry.
Just thinking about what to have for my tea. Sorry, I'll focus on the pool.
I'm not sure if you understand what you're supposed to be doing, Dave. We're supposed to be talking about the pool match. What's on?
Sorry, guys.
Might be saved here. Wayne's back.
With some food, so
Looks like he's been the chipper, Mr. Pinder. We used to fish in chips, the Blackpool man, weren't we? Skill shot coming up from Steve. No? Cross double? What do I know? Thought that skill shot was on, actually.
how many players are left in the comp, Stu? Where are we up to? Seems to be a bit of a debate.
Seems to be quite a talking point, actually, at the moment, doesn't it? Yeah.
Apparently 96 entered this morning, and there's
Still 96
there's
in now.
120 coming back tomorrow. So
There's still 96 in for now, that's for sure. Tomorrow's going to be a long day, I can tell you that. For the lads who are, especially if you're still in the winners' side, you've got to play winners' side in the morning, and there's a potential 7 rounds of the losers' side, and they're only playing one of them today. So if you're in the losers' side now, you've at least 6 matches to play tomorrow if you want to qualify for the quarterfinals. Potentially 10 matches in a day as a minimum, first to 5, and then quarterfinals. I think they go up to 8, 9, and 10 for the quarters, semis, and the final. So yeah, long day ahead for all you players who can play the game. So good field here. You can't really pick a winner. As we were just discussing, Jason and I, before you come on, Dave, that they got Mark White there as 2-1 favourite, Arfan second, and Matt third. And there's a bit of a gap in the prices, but I don't think there's that big a gap between the 3 bookies favourites and the rest of the field. You like the likes of Tony on now and Steve Wall. There's still players like Tezo, Chris Hatton, yourself, Tom Jones. There's some really, really good players here in the first to 7. They're more than capable of winning.
yeah, first to 7, definitely. I think Mike White's quite a short price. Too short, really, for first to
I totally
first to
agree.
sevens.
Totally agree. Just watching him play on table 9 in his last round game. I mean, he won quite comfortably, but he doesn't look like he's been playing much pool with some of the sort of his. I know I've just been told he's a keen snooker player, 147 man, but his shot patterns and stuff looked a bit rusty from what I could see. I don't know much about the guy.
I've not seen him play an awful lot, to be honest, over the years, but he's got a great reputation, so
Yeah, but
he's definitely a snooker player and all that.
Been told he's won a piece with Jordan Shepherd for cash, I believe. So you don't play Jordan if you're not a really good player.
No. Not done an awful lot in pool from what I know, but his reputation.
Just been told he got to the final of the World Seniors last year, which there's a pretty good standing in that, like a Gazebit and what have you in that. You've got people like wow, Steve Crosby's a weird guy, innit? Wow. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, apparently got to the final of the World Seniors in 2018, maybe.
Right. I didn't actually realise he was a senior. Compliment there, Mark.
Backhanded. But yeah, so I mean, that's got. I think Gazabit must have beat him in the final. I'm pretty certain Gazabit won it that year.
Nice shot from Tony.
Yeah, looking like 4-1. So uphill battle for Steve Wall from here. As I said, it's imperative at first to 7s you get off to a good start because they are short races for players of this standard. At first to 7, you can have a couple of shots and be 5-0 down.
Left that a little bit short, but should be fine.
Yeah, he's no problems there.
Who've we got on the chat then? Carl Stevenson just joined us. Hello, Carl.
Mr. Pilkington, Glenn. A couple of his lads from his club there playing today. Bit of controversy actually, as we've just been discussing in one of his games. We'll talk about it why Jason's not here. Stefan Rosidi, I think he plays out of Pilkies. There's been a bit of controversy in that game. Jason's managed to break dish at 6-all. knocked Stefan into the loser's side. I know Dylan Mitchell's here, he plays from there. Arfan obviously plays from there.
Yeah, I think there was something about Stefan had played a skill shot and hadn't knocked his own ball in, but then the white ball had come round the table and eventually did knock one of his own balls in, but neither player saw it. So both thought it was a foul when actually it wasn't.
Yeah, Jason's picked the white up and took 2 shots, made it 6 apiece, and then broke dish. And Stefan's not got another shot, but only after the game when the results been handed in, someone was having a chat and Stefan come over. I was stood with Jason chatting and Stefan come over and said, I've just realised you fouled at 6-5, it weren't a foul and you've picked the white up. It should be loss of frame really, but what do you do when the result's gone in and you've not realised it's... Sorry.
Yeah, I think if
I feel sorry for Stefan really.
They both agree at the time that that's what happened, and the frame's done once the black's potted.
It wouldn't be a pool event without a bit of controversy, would it, Dave? It is, Steve-O, yeah. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I watched a pool comp. I see it without a bit of controversy, actually. Coming handy Moody, wouldn't he?
Chris Moody going to the bar. Somebody take a picture of this momentous occasion.
The man's got... He's mourning of half a pint left and I've asked him for one. What a guy. I mean...
To be fair, that will see you through to Sunday morning.
You'd think he was giving it me out his own pub. In fact, he won't like paying £3 a pint, will he? Not when he gets it half price. Rips us all off, $3.50 a pint at the Bucks Head.
Back to the pool. Tony's going to go for these yellows.
Can't see any problems here, to be totally honest with you, Dave. I think we're looking at 5-1. If Tony will be very, very disappointed if he doesn't get these. This is the big shot, I think, now.
Just the ball next to the red in the middle. Not too sure if...
Oh, wow. I thought that was the shot because the one you're on about next to the red goes into the same pocket. That one was... that one went to, and that would have been his last ball to get on the black.
Yeah.
Which, from again on the camera, looks a lot trickier than it actually is.
These reds don't look very appealing, though, do they?
No, not. I think he's had a bit of a result there, missing that yellow. He's not one of the reds into that little cluster at the top of the table, and then left no shot on anything down the table.
Too sure if the red next to the yellow does pass the yellow next to the pocket. There seems to be a gap there.
Yeah, but that gap on the screen actually, if you look over the screens to the corner of the pocket, you can't. I think that gap isn't as big as it looks. Yeah, it worked.
Good effort, great white.
Cracking white, yeah. I think he's obviously played it with that safety, hasn't he? Wow, nearly called Moody then. Just come back from the bar with 2 cans of Fanta and no pint for me. Turns out it's behind me. Cheers, pal. Let you off. Dave doesn't want to talk about it, Carl.
Hi, Carl. Yeah, still in the loser's side, though. Just bowed out of the winner's side. Not the place you want to be, to be honest, that winner's side. Top up my my game time in the losers section.
Yeah, you don't want to be playing those race to 7s if you can avoid them. Can't beat a first to 5 on the losers side.
Take too long, don't they? Get to 5 and you're in and out.
Yeah. More chance in the losers side because there's more chance of 2 dry breaks than 3 dry breaks, isn't there? See Mike Connors just joined. Why are you not in here, Connors? Is anybody in the chat actually can tell me the score of Craig Lakin's game against Drew Hughes? I'd really appreciate it. Bad shot there from Tony. He only had to get out of it. He only had to hit that yellow, and those reds were still massive second favourite.
I don't know. Fancy Steve to take them off, to be honest. Not got too many bad reds there, just the one on the top rail.
I just think the one on the left hand side of the table close to the middle doesn't go in the middle, and it's tough to get onto. But yeah, That's me looking, and I can't get on it.
I don't think it would have been a problem.
Just because of the other yellows all around it, I think you've got to be. You've had to be really precise on it.
This is the shot that I struggle with at black ball because I'm predominantly world rules, so often stand at the table and look at these balls now and think, what on earth do I do with this free shot?
I was having a chat with Glenn before, who's just lost to Tom Jones. When he played Tom for money at Kuwait, he had roll-ins, but he had ball in hand, and he said if it wasn't on stream, the people watching, I'd still be thinking about it now. It's because he's got no idea.
Yeah.
The world rules, lads.
It baffles me, to be honest. I was having a knock with Gaz Royds in the week, and I must have took 4 minutes on a set-up shot, the free shot. I just don't see.
Not as long as Selby yesterday, then.
No.
I don't get that shot, actually. I think that's.
It must still be open table, is it? No?
No, because he's definitely on reds. And I just think he's got that one along the top rail, and surely the shot would have been to promote that. Or the one that I was on about before on the left-hand side of the table, not that to the corner pocket. I don't think he's played the best shot there. I'm going to actually say he doesn't get these. I wiped its feet, innit?
Can't see him not getting them, to be honest. As long as both reds go in that same bottom right corner.
They don't both go to that bottom right corner. He's looking at it now, and I don't think they do. I think he has to play behind the black onto the one nearest to the black spot, put that into the left bottom corner, and then the other one is his last ball before the black.
I still think he'll be fine here.
Well, maybe it goes, I don't know. He might have to play this one to the top left, and then the one to the bottom left, and run through for the one on the bottom rail. But I don't think they both go to the right. I might be wrong, but there you go. He's stunning across. He's potting this and stunning across for the top one of them two into the same pocket.
No, I think he'll play playing ball just a bit of top and run down.
What do I know, eh? Told you they don't both go to that pocket. He has to get over here.
A little bit fortunate it's not
been
dropped
very
in, because he'd have been struggling there with those two. But
that drops in, he has to pot. If that had dropped in, he has to pot to the same pocket and go all around the table, and you don't fancy it going all the way around. Noticed a few players actually complaining the cushions aren't as lively as normal. I'm assuming during the day today they might have picked up a little bit, but it's quite a cold building.
Yeah, a lot of people have said they've gone to start a match and lagged off and thought they'd hit it hard enough and got nowhere near. It's kind of stopped at the blue spot area. So
I think it was probably the temperature this morning, and he was reminiscent of North America. It's a bit like Canada. But I think Steve should get these now. Bit short on that again, isn't he? He's going to have to try and avoid the yellow.
He's fine. So just he can just hold, screwing through the gap. Luke's
looking over the screen, he might just be able to hold. I might use the yellow actually. Yeah, I thought once I looked over the screen, he could use the yellow just to hold. Cheers for that, Paul Kinsley.
Steve back in the game then, 4-2.
Bit closer than I'd like, that is, Paul, but
Sit on you.
Great break by Tony.
Chris Moody's kicking off now. Wants to have my money on Lake, and he's not having it. I'm not sure, Mike. You do know scores are on Q Score, but they've not got the tablets which are connected to it to do the live scoring. So we've got someone walking around every now and again and updating the scores as much as possible. But Steve George hasn't brought his tablets, so we can't do actual live scoring. But I'll have a look for you how Steve Witt's getting on, Mike. If you give me 2 seconds, I'll just grab my phone. I'm going to have Chris Moody kicked out of this pub if he carries on.
I think Tony's left the right side here on the yellow just to disturb the red and make it a bit easier to finish with the black, unless he can.
Looks like he's powering it in there, yeah. So perhaps he needs to get looking for me. He needs to get low on it now and take it to middle. Unless he's right over this side, there is quite. Again, the gap on the screen's quite deceiving.
He's going to have to play a good shot to get on the black. He should have a nice angle when he's finished with these two.
Oh wow, that wiped his feet, didn't it?
It's certainly not going to be a given that he finishes on the black here.
Connors, just so you know, Steve Witt is 2-0 up at the moment against John Dunn from Liverpool. How accurate that score is, I'm not too sure. But last time it was updated, that's where he was.
Testing shot.
Just has to get past that red, and he's not done. He's snookered on it. I think that's a total snooker. Has he got angle to come below the behind this red here and knock it into the middle? I think that's the only shot he's got, isn't it?
He'll just come off the side cushion, so left cushion.
Kick it to the bottom right.
Try and kick it into the corner pocket. Unlucky there, good hit, but Steve should now be taking control of this and getting himself right back in the match at 4-3.
If he doesn't get them, he'll certainly be. Doesn't get them this time, he'll certainly be laying a snooker and getting his 2 shots and making sure he gets them next.
I think I see him potting this ball into the corner and then doing something with the 2 bad balls on the side and leaving a pretty good snooker
towards the top right. Yeah, he's got to get the top one off, lay a snooker behind the one on the extreme right, and.
Just depends how aggressive. He's going to be a bit aggressive here then, and no good shot. No harm at all in going for them.
He can play snooker now though as well. He can bounce the one to the extreme right, around the angles, put a little bit of top spin on the white ball and go behind the highest red. He just plays that and tops the white ball through in behind the top red.
Yeah, again, just depends how aggressive he wants to be. If it's a shot to nothing. Yeah, he's played the snooker.
I'd say I'd have played the white ball off that cushion behind the red and not leave him the one cushion escape. He's left him a really easy one cushion escape. And
yeah, the problem was, and he could have flicked it anywhere, but the black just didn't go anywhere, did it? 2 reds stopping it from going into the middle and the corner. I know what you mean.
It didn't, but Tony didn't give that enough of a chance to go in either. Because if that's me there, Dave, and you know yourself, if that's you're in that position there, you want to tend to win that frame, to lose that frame. Yeah. So you hit it as hard as you can and give it a chance to go somewhere. Yeah, you might end up knocking a red in, but you've got to give that everything and just give it a good whack.
Yeah,
whack and wish.
But
you have to, and Tony's not give it chance to go in because you know he's canning it. He knows he's canning in the red, what was immediately above it. But he has to come off that and come off another couple of cushions and try and find a pocket. He just didn't give it enough.
Yeah.
But again, Tony's got a world rules background, so he's just making sure of the hit and not worrying whether.
No, I think no matter what rules you play in there, you realise you've got to.
Even in world rules, there would you be giving that a good whack?
Yeah. There's no. I mean, look at these reds. There's nothing to do here. So
absolutely not. No. Yeah, just he didn't hit it enough, did he? Yeah, chances of it going in anywhere was slim to none, but at least give it a chance. anybody hasn't got access to Q Score and you want to know when he scores, want to know anybody's results, just give me a shout and I'll see what I can find for you.
Can't see an issue here, to be honest. I thought he might have took the slightly awkward ball on the rail, so the middle of those reds as we're looking at the three. I thought he might have took it a little bit earlier in this finish, but again, it's just, should be honest, personal choice. And
He's going to be his last. Oh wow, he's gone behind this black. I don't even think he's left the double. It looks like he's directly behind it on the. Looks like he's directly behind the black on the screen. The camera's not quite high enough, as I said, but he can actually see the thin edge of the red. So he's going to have to play it off the back cushion with a load of right hand side and try and kick it into the middle pocket. That's his only chance. One cushion escape, yeah.
I'm amazed at how he's just played that. Looks like he's going wide here with the bounce.
Very wide, yeah. Unbelievable. Tony's been given an absolute gift here. You've got to knock this black in. To be honest, this is the sort of black you miss at times as well, because you're that excited you've got a chance.
He won't be missing this.
But
it's a
he's
big,
composed
big
himself.
Difference as well. 4-3 momentum.
He's composed himself well, and he should get down and knock this in. Told you. Honestly, you're that shocked you've got a chance.
No, there's no excuse for that.
I'm telling you now, you're that shocked you've got a chance there. He's got down, and he still can't believe he's got a chance. And missed it by a mile.
Tony knows. Don't need me to tell him. No excuse for that. I think this will be a safety.
It's a disgusting
welded
effort
to the cushion. So
he knows himself. He's got his head on his hands. He's disgusted with himself.
It's a good shot from Steve.
Yeah, he's not left one or two cushions, has he? I mean, Tony's only shot here now for me is swerve around the red off the bottom cushion with a load of left hand side and try and just kick it in and at minimum get the pocket. He's not had a back. He's had a bit of a result there now, I'm telling you.
Just wonder if it's a 3-ball plant. Might.
If it is a 3-ball plant, the red behind the first red is hitting.
Might just be okay.
It might just be going onto the cushion.
I think he can probably just drop this dead weight, leave the black off the cushion, and leave the first red that he's hitting up to the corner pocket. Yeah, good shot.
Dave Bellis now.
Great shot.
Why are you doing? You're not allowed on, Dave. Alright, we get it, your insecurity.
Now the frame that would have been momentum for Steve is going to hurt Tony even more because he's had that second bite, and that is when it hurts.
We know that black's 99 out of 100, isn't it? And
yeah,
he always missed that. I'll never know. Player of Tony's calibre as well. He can't be missing them.
No, he's usually good at composing himself. Probably just overthought.
He took a few seconds, didn't he? And I thought he took a few seconds, compose himself, get down, knock it in. Perhaps maybe you just need to get down and knock it in and not take those few seconds in hindsight.
You can overthink. I think sometimes you realise how much it is going to hurt your opponent, and then you put a bit too much pressure on yourself to pot it. He knew that was going to hurt Steve if it
becomes a tougher pot then. But
it's all in the mind, isn't it?
It's Steve's break now. Steve makes a ball off this break and leaves him any sort of finish. Great. Tony's going to be looking at the table thinking I should be 5-2 and watch him clear up and get that level.
Yeah, and the amount of times you lose a frame that hurts and then your opponent break dishes, it's frightening how often that happens.
2-1 break dish. The bucky.
Definitely potting the white now.
Dry. He's gone dry. Ball. And I'm going to call it now. Yellows are gone. Because those yellows are unmissable.
It's a great split.
Those yellows are absolutely unmissable. But again, right, look at this. Tony wins that frame and goes 5-2. Steve breaks dry, leaves absolute rollings. You're 6-2 and you've got a break to win it 7-2. Knock him sick. Tony will still... If Tony doesn't get this, it's because... Tony doesn't get these, it's because he's still thinking about that last frame.
Yeah, and that to me is the difference between the top players. It's not just their ability, it's the state of mind. They don't overthink those kind of shots where Tony might have just been thinking about hurting Steve with that black and he's missed it. They don't have that weakness in the way they think.
So just to take you away from the pool, Mick Allwood from St Helens has given the best bet of the week. Belgium were 11 to 10 away from home tonight against Russia and had a full team out. 11 to 10 away from home. So we had a little flutter between us and the 3-0 up after half an hour.
Just like to thank Stu Williams for the heads up on that bet.
You've got to get on.
Probably
You've got to get on.
He,
I forgot to tell you, Dave.
he's told me nothing. Thank you, Stu.
No worries. You're welcome. You got enough money, Dave. Castle stock.
Can never have too much.
You've got enough money in Castle stock.
The East Wing needs a refurb. Belgium would have paid for it. Thanks for the nod, mate.
Soz, pal. Just a couple of balls to negotiate here now. Pot this, screw down just past the middle pocket. Drop into the corner, drop into the middle. 5-3. Tony gets out of jail.
I think he'll be...
He's alright there. He's absolutely fine there.
He is fine, but there wasn't a lot.
Was risky. I'd have been coming past. I'd have just been playing that with the right hand side and coming down this side of the red.
No, I think I'd have been trying to get back out to the middle.
To the blue
table.
spot.
You don't want too much of an angle on that, but he's
pretty straight
good.
on that. You can
He's
just
good.
stun it. It's pretty straight on it.
So momentum swings again. 5-3, Tony.
Yeah, he'll be delighted with those
Yeah,
after that break for Steve. That just knocks that Miss Black out of his mind now,
Yeah.
and he'll 5-3 up now and completely forgot about that with his break.
Yeah.
So
And again, it comes back to thinking your state of mind, and top players just don't seem to think they're so good at forgetting about last frames, last shots, what's just happened, and it's what you've got to do, I'm afraid. But momentum is such a big thing in pool.
it's a difference between the good players and the great players, Dave. I fancy Tony to go on and win from here now at 5-3 though. It's an uphill task now for Steve. Tony's a very, very good player on his day. Especially the World Rules days. I know he's run deep on UK tours. He's had some good results in his time. He's a very good player, he's Tony. Must say he does a fantastic job of running an event as well. He puts on some great events at Scala in St Helens.
He does. Nice club. Puts a lot of effort in, so fair play to him.
There is obviously the big team event he runs in January. It's a big singles comp and a 7-man team. But I think it's 8-man. You play 7. Clint Hansen's won the singles for the last 2 or 3 years, I think. But again, they come from all over to play that. It's always been World Rules, but this time they've seen the light and changed to black ball. Needless to say, they struggled to fill it last year and the year before. They never had 16 in it. They've always had 13 or 14. And this year he's got the 16 in no time, and he's got a waiting list of another 8 teams waiting to pay in if anybody fails to pay the balance. So it just shows that black ball is really it's really taking over. Not many people want to spend a weekend in St Helens playing World Rules pool.
Well, not many people want to spend a weekend in St Helens.
especially if it's World Rules.
Nice shot from Steve.
Yeah, that should be 5-4 now.
Just not quite landed on that bottom one of the reds, but I think he's all right. I think he'll.
I think is he not on it? No.
No, I don't think he is, but he can clear the other side, and then should have the opportunity to get a nice angle to.
Does it go past the black to the opposite corner, Dave? You can probably see from there if you look over the screen.
Don't think it.
Not
does,
when
no.
he's in the way, but
No, it doesn't.
so he's going to have to get back below it again to the middle. As it probably have to be his last ball now, won't it?
He seems quite.
To get on it to the black.
Seems like he's really quite content on taking that red off now, but I think the red on the opposite side of the table is just as bad a ball. So
Yeah. And obviously he needs a ball to get to black because the black only goes to. Yeah, if he's leaving that other ball to middle on the left hand side of the table, we can't see the screen at the moment. If we just go to the overhead camera.
yeah, when is he going to take that?
With the side camera,
He
sorry.
needs to swerve this, and I like taking that
Yeah, but the ball to the top of the table now, as we look near the middle of the. That is just as tricky as you say, and he certainly can't leave it to last because he's no shot to get to black then without leaving a double.
I think I'd be taking that now, but I didn't realise there was quite as much angle as there is on it. So whether he can get back for the one he's just tried to be on, it's not a guaranteed pot, this.
No, you can't. You see, he's tough there now. He's really, really digging a hole for himself. He's going to have to play the one to the top corner now as we look to the top right, on the right hand side of the table. And I think then play all three to the same middle. This is a tough pot. I'm going to go back to the main screen. That is a really tough pot.
He's not on the one over the corner. So I was thinking initially to drop the ball in that he's just potted, then take the one on the top to guarantee
this
some
is
kind
a tough,
of angle.
tough pot. This is.
It
was really tough. That it was a lot tougher than it looked on the screen. It was a lot thinner than it looked on the screen. And I'll tell you, the ball over the top left as we look isn't as far over the puck as it may look, because there's the ball in the middle of the rail, the yellow in the middle of the top rail actually goes past it, flies past it. So Tony's got a good chance here now to hurt Steve again. His only tricky ball is the one on the right hand side rail.
Well, that plants, that goes down the rail long to the two that are over the pocket, so it's just one good first shot here.
Actually, it's just one good shot. And I'll tell you what he might play now is the ball on the left hand side of the table, the furthest to the left, passes the red over the top corner pocket as well, so he can knock the red out of the way. And the yellow on the top rail goes to both corners.
The risk of playing this shot is that you've taken away that plant.
Yeah, you've taken that plant away now, and he's finished awkward on that ball on the top rail. He wanted to be on that. He's played that to screw onto the top rail and be on that ball, hasn't he?
Yeah, this is quite nasty now for Tony. I'm struggling to see.
I don't think he can finish now.
I think he will definitely end up playing the ball to left middle, but it's
bridging over that. He's bridging over that yellow. I may be tempted the ball to the left hand side, what doesn't go to the top left corner, to play the double. Because if he plays the double and he's successful in playing the double, then the yellow on the top rail passes to the top right. So if he doubles that goes. I think that's the shot, but if you're attacking at black ball rules, you've got to attack, and I think he committed to the finish when he played the first shot, and so should have continued for me to commit and go for them. That's not a good shot what he's played. Everything goes, everything's got a pocket.
The red next to the yellow does go into the middle, so
he's played a bad shot. He's played a nothing shot really there. He's just trying to prolong the inevitable. In my opinion, if you go game at these rules, you've got to go game, and once you've committed, you're committed. You can't change your mind halfway through a finish because you're slightly out of position.
Should be fine here, Steve. I think if he just nips it in thin and then runs back down the table, or is he playing it with the right hand side and coming around the gap?
He's played a good shot there. He played the corner ball first and just spun out. Now he's got a good angle to just pop out for the one to the middle and the black to the opposite left.
Not convinced actually, Stuart. He's probably played for a kind of choice of both. I think you would want to be on the middle ball if he's.
Yeah, ideally you want middle ball first, but he's not. I think, but I mean, he might just end up potting this and using the yellow ball he's closest to, and playing the red thin and coming up and down for black. Yeah, again, he's a little bit thin on this. His white ball's going around the table, but he should be able to just play it off two cushions, side, bottom, and come back for the black to the bottom right.
I think he's fine here. It looks a little bit thinner, but to come off two.
He's played it well. Good pace.
So we've got game on again.
We're 5-4.
It feels like, without stating the obvious, this next frame is a big one. If Tony gets it 3 in front, it's a big ask for Steve. So
it's massive, and actually, obviously, if Tony wins it and goes 6-4, he's a big favourite. But if Steve gets back to 5-all, I make Steve a big favourite because he should never be anywhere near it. Should, like, Tony missed that black and then Steve broke dry and Tony dished him. That should have been 6-2 and it weren't. It was 5-3. So
Yeah, and that's maybe
all.
us as commentators overthinking again at one frame at a time. All you can do is concentrate on.
But I can guarantee you, if Steve break dishes here, Tony will be back. That frame, what he completely forgot about after dishing those balls, all of a sudden's back in his head thinking, if I'd have got that black, I'd be 6-4 up and not 5-all.
I think at this stage of a game, you probably don't go back to that while you're playing. You may come off
No, you don't
having
want
lost
to.
and start thinking about it.
When
but
you start analysing the game, yeah.
I think when your head's in the game now, certainly for myself, I don't tend to start thinking about shots that have been and gone. It just hurts you, especially the bad shots. So they've already cost you.
I guarantee you,
a
Tony
frame
loses when he's analysing it. He'll be kicking himself
that's
afterwards.
After the game, you look back at what you've missed and what you've got, but during
He's
the game,
dry again, and I'm telling you something now. If Tony's got a red, then these are ploppings yet again.
Steve's just asking for a ball.
Steve's shouting at us, "Give me a ball!" Just come and shouting it to us over the screen. Give us a ball. That's he's obviously. I've not really paid much attention about his break up until these last two frames, where it's become really important. But he's obviously his last two breaks have both been dry, and he's left absolute rollings on them both.
Just the one to the left side, which
think
does go, but it's just been right on it. And
again, I think the camera angle is giving us a false reading on it, because from
it definitely goes, but you do have to be right.
I think he gets on it now. Yeah, he's absolutely fine on that now, and then he's got easy ball from it as well. It looks. Oh wow, he's missed that by a long way. I cannot believe how far he's missed that by. Cannot believe how much he's missed that by. That was miles away.
Chris Moody doesn't think he was on it, but it looked like it was on to me.
From where we was, it looked like he was definitely on it, and he knows himself. He's looking now, and he was definitely on that.
Not usually wrong, Chris Moody. He knows his stuff.
I'm looking over into the crowd now. John Mercer's nodding his head. He was on it.
Yeah, there's people.
John Mercer's just telling us he's Cat 4 in Wigan, so he's no idea. Cat 4 in Wigan just knocked Gazroids out at main event, moaning that he's 40-1 in this event, and he should be 100-1. National champion at Bapto, beats Gazroids in a comp, and then moans that he's 40-1 to win this. Knocking tons in every other night on snooker table. He messages me. I've just had another ton. And then moan, and then he's kicking off with Jason Hill that he's 40-1 win comp.
Who's that, John?
He's got his phone out now, listening to me calling him, moaning at Bapto. He's 40-1 for win comp, national champion, knocking tons in for fun.
National champion.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Not right, is it?
Beats Gazroids, who I made at 28-1.
Could at least give him
massive
like
prize.
35 or something, couldn't he?
The guy's relentless, mate. The guy's relentless. Only plays one frame a week, he said. But apparently a
Who
week.
does, John?
One frame a week, but every week lasts half
on
an hour.
Facebook every day?
Listen, every week in Warrington lasts half an hour. He's biting. He's biting. He's got his phone out listening to me and shouting at me now, biting. So let's get back to the pool anyway. I don't know. I'm sorry I missed that. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there, but I know Tony's got back to the table. But Steve had a glorious chance, to be honest. I know he's not. How Tony got back, I don't know. But Tony will be absolutely rubbing his hands. He's got dollies to 6-4. It's a gift and win. I'm not sure if you've seen the black what Tony missed before.
I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, I can't tell
it a
you.
dolly?
I can't tell you how bad it was.
I'll have to have a look later.
Steve messed up. Tony messed up.
I'm going to hand you back over. Just thought I'd fill in while he went for a quick toilet break.
Yeah,
so.
Tony messed up, Wayne, and then Steve had a dolly chance, and then Steve messed up, and Tony come back to the table, and it must have been going through his head that how have I got this chance? How have I got this
Yeah,
chance?
yeah, yeah.
So they're all in black and dogged it by a mile. So.
Sometimes they do end up being a bit too easy.
It
don't
were
they?
huge, yeah, it were huge. Anyway, cheers, man. Dave
worries.
Stock's back now. Stocky's going to join us till the end of this game at least. Dave's just been for a toilet break. Was it a big one?
They did that.
Was it a big one? Gorilla's finger. Laid a cable. Was Paul, yeah. About 3 of them were perfect, to be fair.
What's happened there then? That last 6-4 to Tony, right?
No, it's just popped up. John Mercer joined.
See,
6-4 to Tony. What
I'm
happened
going to
there?
tell you something now. I don't know how Steve missed. I don't know, because me and Wayne were chatting about something else, but we were winding John up actually. And I don't know what happened and how Tony got back in, but he had rollings when I look back.
Right.
But Tony had his hands up in the air then looking at this table. He's potted and left half hand over my shoulder.
Tony's got
But Tony had,
chance
his
for
hands
game here.
up, Tony had his hands up in the air then going, bloody hell, I'm unlucky I've not left the yellow. But then his World Rules brain shut off, and then he realised he can play red onto yellow.
Yeah, this is
Because
a
you
great
don't have to
chance now.
nominate, but these yellows are absolute dollies now.
Great chance for the match, which is exactly what you want. Takes a bit of pressure off.
Yeah. And he still plays, up until last year, he still played on the UK tour. Sorry, I'm just talking to Arfan Dad here. And he's just asking me, is it an upset that Tony Brown's probably going to beat Steve Wall here? And as Arfan just rightly said, Tony's been about for a long time, Dave, and on the old IPA tour and on the newer EPA tour, and now the
He's an experienced
UK
campaigner.
pool tour or whatever it is, whatever order it is. But he is, like you say, he's a very experienced campaigner. He's been about a long time and he knows how to win matches.
Yeah, and it's his home club as well. It's his,
This is
it's a table he
this is his
practices
table.
on.
He plays on it 3-4 nights a week. I think.
Just-
Yeah, he's plenty. He's loads of room on that. The the camera is deceiving, but it's Tony's table. He plays on it regular. He's a very, very experienced campaigner. And I'm not surprised he's beat Steve. I think Tony were probably second favourite before the game started.
Yeah, he would have been, but.
But
wow,
wow,
what has he done?
wow.
Sack
Again,
it all back. He's useless.
I think he can clip this black. I think he can clip this black to middle.
That's not a good shot at all.
It's a terrible
It's
shot,
like,
but he's on
almost
it.
like he was in
He's on
two
it to
minds.
middle.
As
He's on it to middle. He's not as close as he looks. I'm telling you. I'm going to call. He pots this to the left middle.
some tough shot this.
Oh well, he's nowhere near it. Could we be? The topsy-turvy game has taken another turn.
Light off, but these reds are not pretty, are they?
No, these two balls on the bottom rail, and there's nowhere he can hide here. He's got nowhere to hide neither. He has to go again.
Don't know what Tony was thinking with his last shot.
Can he get into these two reds on the bottom rail now? Oh, that's a great shot, Steve Wall. That is a fantastic shot. Shot of the day so far.
Great shot.
Shot of the day. Telling you, that's a great shot. Under that pressure, you miss, you're out. That's a great shot.
Yeah, it was a good shot. Still not a given though from here.
Still got two tricky-ish balls. I mean, there's one. The one on again at the top rail is further off than it looks, but the one on the side rail, just above the middle, to the right, just above the right middle, is still a tricky ball.
Just wondering if he'll use the ball over the pocket for that cushion ball again. It just depends how you see it. So he could take middle, go up for the cushion ball.
What, and then play the long plant?
And then play the long plant. Or
he's in
he might
between
look at
shots
that.
again here.
He might actually look at that cushion ball and think.
I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't be too worried about playing that one up the right cushion, up to the right corner actually, because he can play that playing-ish ball, last ball, and just leave black to the opposite middle.
Yeah, I think he would like
It's
to
just
get
getting
up.
from this ball now to the one on the top rail, which is negotiating this shot's the one.
He has got a slight angle, so
See, there's the problem. He needed to be on that ball, that top rail ball now. That he had to be on that to play top, bottom right, then play the rail ball up to the corner and be on the black in the middle. He's now going to play a double. His only shot now is to play a double.
he could still put the one over the pocket. But
He could, but then he's got to play a corner and then rail, which it means the one up the right hand side is forcing in. He's topping it. He'll have to be playing it with loads of top, or he'll be forcing it in for wherever he is on it. The shot, what I said, is now play the double and land on the top rail one.
play the double and probably take the white. Good shot.
What a shot that is! Cracking dig, Steve. Brilliant shot. I think he had to play the double. He didn't really have much choice. So get out of jail, free can for Steve. And it's Steve to break if he gets these as well.
Comes back to momentum, doesn't it? Steve's.
We said before at 6-4, Tony can't lose really from there, but.
Well, the fact is now Steve feels like he's got a get out of jail free card. He should be certainly shaking hands.
His
with a good
name
5
should be in
minutes
the
ago.
losers' side, yeah.
So it takes a bit of weight off. And having said that, if he wins the next frame and then gets to a decider, good shot.
Very good shot.
All the pressure goes back on both players, but
If he gets to 6-all, the pressure's more for me. It's on Tony.
Tony will be feeling it a bit now.
He will be at
6-5.
6-5.
Not
Yeah.
going to get a better chance to win the match.
At this level, this standard, these two both very, very good players. You're not Steve's break now. You can if he goes 6 apiece. Tony now, what he'll be running through his head thinking, I've got one break, and that's it.
Well, you've got the two players there. Steve's thinking, I'm happy, I'm still in the match.
I'm still in the
You've
game.
got Tony thinking, dear God, I should have.
How is this not over?
Shaking his hand, and a name should be in the next round. So,
and I'll guarantee you, after not getting on that black again, something else runs through his head. I've not got on that black, and I've missed that other black. And that both of them, all of a sudden, are both back in his head. That other missed black is back in his head now. I can guarantee it. After not getting on that one. Just going to nip to the toilet. Be back in 1 minute.
big break here for Steve. He's certainly the last 3 that I've seen have been dry. He's praying for a ball here at 6-5. He's made a red into the top corner, and these yellows look lovely. Just a couple of tricky balls to negotiate. So the yellow on the bottom cushion. Definitely pots, but it's just how you get out from there to get on your next ball. And then of course the 2 yellows up near the black. What order are you taking them in? Are you going to play a plant? Certainly look at these balls and think that they're probably going. He's going to prove me wrong, I think, and go for reds, which maybe the yellow doesn't go near the red. He's played that well. He's played that well. He's got a nice angle now just to screw up and play the red on the right hand side.
Hi Dave, I'm not sure. Do you want to just quickly tell me what happened? Why I was away?
Steve Wells finally made a ball on the break, and
this is from the break, is it?
Yeah, so I'd actually called him taking yellows, but could have taken both really.
For me, they both look simple enough, don't they?
He's played that well. I think we're about to go hill and a big decider Just needs to decide which order he's taking these in and hopefully stick to it. So the two in the middle of the table are obviously his easy balls, and then he's got the slightly trickier, the red. Some slightly surprised he didn't play for then, but again, it's just personal choice.
Just speaking to Jason L behind you, Dave. He's laid Steve Wall in this, so he's egging Tony on. And he didn't see the black Tony missed earlier, actually, and he didn't see the black he didn't get on in the last frame. So I've just told him about both of them, and he ain't right happy.
He could take the red on the far left-hand side now. Camera again makes
Just
it
again,
weak,
looking up here, it's really thin, but he can play it an old for the one to middle, can't he? He's obviously... he's run a bit further than he'd like to there, I'll tell you that.
It's not a good shot,
It's
to be
not,
honest.
he's run a lot further than he'd want.
He gets away with it because he can still pot it thin and go across twice.
He's a lot thinner than it looks on there too. He is a lot thinner than that.
Luckily for him, he's going to go across the table twice.
Yeah, twice. Playing it with left hand side though, he's gone a bit too far. No, I don't like that shot. Certainly. Oh, he's got away with that, you know. Oh, he's missed it. I thought it had gone in. He's missed it.
He's missed the pot. Wow.
And I tell you something, I ain't got away with that because them two reds plant into the middle, and he's no right to have left the plant there. Has he? Do you know what I mean? He's no right to have left that.
No, I thought it was a lot thinner than how he's played it. So Tony.
Well, Tony's probably just going to use his brain here now and cover this pocket. He's got to cover this pocket. He can't go game here. He just has to.
I'm just not
just
sure
has to take this pocket and hope Steve doesn't get him. I'll tell you that. That yellow looked like it turned away, didn't it? Yeah.
I just think you've just left him a black ball rules. You've left him the shot to play the plant now and go into those.
I don't think he can play this plant with that much power to come back to the black, because the top red of the two goes away from the pocket. If he does, he's got to drop this plant in, I think. Yeah, because if he plays, yeah, I think he can pop that. Oh, see, I might have been playing. He's behind that red. That is an absolutely fantastic. I mean, dreadful shot. That is absolutely dreadful shot. But he should have played that ball to the middle then and tried to screw into the back then.
Dale Doolan joins us on the chat. Local hero in Wigan.
Go on, you baldy.
I think he's going to have to just come off the side cushion here and hopefully leave a double.
Leaving chance of a double, but that's about all. But again, what I think he should have played was the ball over the middle first and screwed into the black.
Might even be worth just coming off the top cushion and.
Yeah, I think that's what he's looking at, just trying to fire it around the table.
Well, he pots it and leaves a back double or skill shot.
I don't think the skill shot's on. It's too far away from the pocket.
It's a good shot.
If he makes this skill shot, I'll hate me at.
Skill shot's definitely on.
I think the yellow's too far away. Yellow's too far out the pocket.
No, it's on that.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's his tournament live. Well, it's the winner's side live. No chance. Absolutely no chance. It was miles too far out the pocket. It was too far out the pocket, Chris.
It was on. It was on. He's hit it half ball.
He had to be absolutely perfect on that. It was too far out the pocket.
So Tony,
we've got Tony with ball in hand here. What you playing, Dave? I'm playing the yellow down onto the one on the bottom rail.
I haven't got a clue.
The ball, what Tony's hitting now, he should be playing that into the one on the far left as we look onto the bottom rail. Hit them both, and they both come off the cushion, and your white's in the middle of the table. If he brings them both off, he's got dollies. He's now got a tough ball down the rail. Yeah, it's probably his last ball because the black's over the pocket, but you still shouldn't be having to negotiate that ball for win this game. They should be both out in the open.
He'll be absolutely fine here. He'd probably leave the rail ball till last.
That's what I'm saying, but if he'd have played the ball I said onto it, they'd both be out in the open, and he wouldn't have a rail ball at all for last. He'd have balls in the open for last, and he'd be able to get closer to the black.
Oh, he snatched at that.
He has snatched at it.
I still think he's fine. He's just going to screw over to.
Screw over to the left-hand side of the table as you look. Yeah, he has to dink it over there now. He's absolutely fine. A bit closer to the cushion than he'd want to be, but
Yeah, it's pretty straight.
I
That
think he's
looking from
alright.
the side of the table.
I think
so
he's
it's
alright.
just the
Trust-
occasion that will maybe.
just trust your cue in now, knock it in, plain ball. Yeah, just have to trust your cue in there and get
Played it
down.
well.
Get down. Again, this ball is just trust your cue in, just knock it in, plain ball. No matter what, don't worry about your white, just knock it in. That's a good shot. He's absolutely perfect on the black.
Don't
And
think there's any problems there. And
7-5 to Mr. Brown,
local
barring a
player.
miracle.
Local
Yeah,
player
there you
Tony
go.
gets
Tony will
three.
be absolutely made up with
Good
that.
result for Tony. Well done, mate.
Fantastic result. He goes into that game second favourite and he's come out 7-5. Probably should have won a bit easier than that as well, Dave. So congratulations, Tony. Well done. Sure you'll be relieved. You can have the night off. He won't be playing again till tomorrow now.
Yeah.
So he'll be made up about that. Cheers, guys. I'm sure I might pop back on myself a little bit later. I'll speak to you soon, Dave. Cheers.
So just bear with us. We've got Dave Bellis and Stefan Rosidi coming up in about 3 or 4 minutes' time. You will get a notification as soon as we go live again, so just bear with us.